Guys, today we're actually going to be multiplying binomials. This is going to be relatively easy. What a binomial looks like, I'm going to show you real quick. It's going to be looking something like this. I'm doing problem number 1 on the worksheet, so I would follow along because we're going to do it 3 different ways. Because whenever you multiply binomials, you can do it either FOIL method, you can do it box method, or you can do it long multiplication method. So for the first one I'm going to show you how to do a FOIL method. FOIL method is pretty easy. That's what I grew up with, like learning. But a lot of students get confused on what you're supposed to do. So we're gonna write the problem again, just to show real quick. So this is my problem, right? Every single one, like this, from here, all that guy is gonna be what is called binomial. That's a binomial, right? So whenever you have like a variable and number, for the most part, it's going to be a binomial. If it has multiple variables and multiple numbers, then it's going to call something else. But for this time, we're just working with binomials. So what's going to happen? I think we did it with the distributive property. We're going to multiply the first number with the first, right? Then we're going to multiply the second with the second. Then we're going to get the second number. We're going to multiply with this one for the first. And we're going to get the number and multiply with the number right there. All right, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to color coordinate this, guys, just so I can show you. The first one's going to be red. We're going to color this one red right here. Okay, that one's red. So red, going to highlight it over here, is going to be 3 n times n. That's what I'm gonna write right there, right? Now the second one that I'm gonna multiply by, it's gonna be 3n multiplied by the number 3. So I'm gonna write it real quick. It's gonna be right here. It's gonna be 3n times 3. Okay, that's gonna get rid of the first thing. Now I'm going to do the other two. So I'm going to choose a dark, oh my god, I'm trying to pick a dark blue here. So now I'm going to get this guy and I'm going to get multiply with this guy. So it's going to go right here. 2n. Finally, like I said, going to multiply. I have purple now. Purple is going to go with right here. So my purple color is going to be my two numbers getting multiplied to each other. So 2 times 3. All right, once you have it all set up like this, all you have to do is multiply, and that's going to be your answer. Well, not necessarily. We're going to have to combine some like terms. But for the most part, that should be as hard as it gets. So 3 right here, I'm going to underline it. 3n times n is going to give me 3n squared. Okay, this one's positive, so I'm going to put a little plus in front of it. Now I have 3n over here, the second one, right? I'm going to put 2 lines. The second one's going to be 3n times 3, which is going to be 9n. Is it positive or negative? It's positive, right? Because both numbers are positive. Now I'm going to multiply the next one. This one, I'm going to put 3 lines. 2 times n, which is going to give me, yes, you guessed it, it's going to be 2n. And finally, I'm going to put 3 lines over here, which is the last one. 2 times 3 is positive 6, because both of them are positive. Now, if you can see, I have this guy and this guy right here, which are like terms. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine those two. I'm going to combine those two, and I'm just going to lower everything else. So that stays the same. What's 9 plus 2 is going to be plus 11. And then what's 6? Can I combine anything with 6? No, I'm just going to rewrite it. So that's basically how you do FOIL method. If I were you, I would try and take a picture of this real quick. I'm going to leave it like this just for a couple more seconds. And this is how you do FOIL method. All right. Now we're going to move to method number 2. We're going to do exactly the same problem. let's do problem number 2. I put a 2 here, so let's do problem number 2. So I got n minus 1, and I have 2n minus 2. Alright, right here, we're going to be doing what is called the box method. You've probably done this in science class. You're drawing like a little box right here. It's going to look just like that. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to grab your first binomial, which I'm going to highlight right here. This is my first binomial. And you're going to put it on the very top. So I'm going to put n, and I'm going to put -1. Remember, you put the signs in front of them. So this is positive n, negative n. All right. Now, you're going to grab your second binomial. Wait, before I change anything, right? This is going to be this color, right? I want to color all of it so you know where I'm putting stuff. Now I'm going to grab my second binomial, which is going to be the red ones. There we go. And I'm going to put it right here on the side. Okay? I'm going to put what? Positive 2, right? Positive 2n. I'm going to put a little plus. And I'm going to have it -2. Alright, that's all you do. That's literally all you do. Now, I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to put a little dot. Hopefully you guys can see it. And this guy, I'm going to multiply to each other, right? So 2n is going to multiply with n. So 2n times n is going to give me 2n squared. Okay? I'm going to move to the right. Now I have -1 times 2n is going to give me -2n. Alright? And then I'm going to have n times -2, again, -2n. And finally, -2 times -1 is going to be a positive 2. Alright, very important thing whenever you're working this type of problems is that there's always going to be two numbers that you're going to have to combine. The squares that I'm highlighting are always going to combine with each other. This one and this box right here, I'm going to have to combine to each other. So everything else you're just going to drop. So I'm going to drop the other two. So I'm going to drop n2 or 2n to the power 2, and I'm going to drop plus 2 over here on the side. The center right here is going to be the combination that I'm just about to do. So what's -2 minus -2n? It's going to be -4n. And that's your answer. That's literally as far as it gets, or as far as it gets whenever you do the box method. Finally, the last method that we're going to do is going to be called multiplication method. We're going to do problem number 3, and this is multiplication. Multiplication, I'm going to write it out. So whenever you do multiplication method, you need to understand one thing. If you know how to do long multiplication with regular numbers, you're going to do exactly the same thing that you do here. So I'm going to write the problem out as n plus 3, and then it's going to be 2x minus 3. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to, on the side, I'm going to multiply 12 by 12. How do we do this? I'm going to multiply this one by this one, right? Which is going to give me 4. And now I'm going to multiply the 2 by the 1. It's going to be 2. Then I'm going to grab the 1 now and multiply by the 2, which is going to give me 2. And then multiply the 1 by the 1, and it's going to give me 1. You see how I have like a little 0 here? Because we move over here on the 2. Make sure you do that also whenever you're doing working with binomials. So I have 4 plus 4 and 1. Right? That's my answer. We're going to do exactly the same thing here. I'm going to write 2n plus 3. And do I have n? Yes. That's supposed to be an n2. So this was an n2. Then I have 2n minus 3. Okay, I'm going to put a little line, and I'm going to multiply them together. So, real quick, I'm going to multiply 3 by 3, which equals -6. Right? Now I'm going to multiply 3 by 3. Oh, shoot. I'm going to multiply 3 by what? Negative 3 by 2n is going to give me negative 6n. Oh, and I did a mistake before I just saw. Man, I'm just having a rough day today, am I not? Okay, so 3 times 3 is equals to negative 9. And negative 3 times 2 equals negative 6n. Alright, now I'm going to grab the 2. Going to grab the 2n. And I'm going to multiply by the 3. Which is give me positive 6n. And now I'm going to multiply the 2n by the 2n. And it's going to give me 4n squared. I'm going to put my line, put a 0 right there. So the 9 doesn't have anything to combine with, so I'm just going to write negative 9. Now the 6 right here is going to cancel with the 6 because positive 6. So 6 minus 6 is equal to 0, right? So this one's going to be 0. And then finally, I'm just going to drop the n, the 4n squared. Now, we don't worry about the 0. So my answer is actually 4n squared minus 9. And that's how you do multiplication. So hopefully this video helps. I know it's a little long, but there's 3 different ways that you can do the problems, and I just wanted you to see that you can do it whichever way you want. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys next time.